Hello everybody, my name is Carson, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you some basic paddling skills. So, let's start off with the parts of our canoe. So, at the front here, this is the bow of our boat. It's got a seat here for you to rest your bum on, and that's it for our front. Now let's walk to the back, also known as the stern of our canoe. We've got another seat here, and that's about it. Now, let's go to about the middle of our canoe. We're going to see something called the yoke, just like you have in an egg. The yoke is used for portaging the canoe, so that's picking up the canoe, walking with it over a distance of land. Now, let's move to our sides here. On the sides are gunnels. The gunnels are very useful for getting in and out of your canoe because you have to rest your paddle on the gunnels. So next, let's go over the parts of our paddle. Starting at the top here, this is what's referred to as the butt of the paddle, butt end of the paddle. Then going downwards, we have the shaft of the paddle. Leading towards the last part, we have the neck leading into our blade, which has two faces on it. So there's a power face, which we're doing all of our strokes with. So, to get in and out of a canoe, you should have somebody usually straddling the canoe, sitting on it like so, holding their paddle out like this. But this is just a demonstration. So, what we're going to do, put our paddle over our gunnels. We're going to step towards a line that you should see in the center of the canoe. We're going to step on this line because we don't want to put the canoe off balance. And then we're going to find our seat in the canoe. Next, let's go over some basic safety that we should be practicing while we're paddling. We should make sure that our PFDs or life jackets are zipped and clipped, and we should have a bailer inside of our canoe, which could have things like a throw rope, a flashlight, and a whistle. So we need to make sure we have our bailer and make sure our PFDs or life jackets are zipped and clipped. Now let's go over some basic strokes that you will need to use while you are canoeing. So let's start with our basic power stroke. Reaching forward, we're pulling back, like so. Now let's go forward again, reach forward, pull back. One more time, reaching forward, pulling back. Next stroke we're going to cover is our backward power stroke. So it's basically just the reverse of our power stroke. We're reaching out backwards, and we're pushing forwards, like so. So we're reaching out, pushing forward. One more time. We're reaching out behind us, and we're pushing forward. Now let's cover our pry and our draw. So for a draw, what we need to do is we need to bring water into or towards our canoe. So we're reaching out and we're pulling the water towards our canoe. Now, what we're going to do is the pry. So, paddle in the water and we're pushing the water away from our canoe. So draw, we're reaching out, pulling forward towards our canoe, and pry, paddle in the water, pushing out away from our canoe. So the next stroke that we're going to cover is called the sweep, and this is used at the stern of the boat to help steer the canoe. So we're going to reach out just like we do with our power stroke, and we're going to go in kind of like a C shape, like so. Reach out, we're pulling the water in like a C shape towards our back end. Do you also see this stroke called the C stroke? Because you're making a C in the water. So the last stroke that we are going to cover is called the J stroke. What we need to do, paddles up front, just like we do with our power stroke and our sweep. We're going to pull back, and then we're going to switch into our pry and pry out like so. So, J stroke, reach out, pull back, and then go into a pry. So you're twisting into that pry. So as you're pulling back, you're twisting, 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 and pushing out. Makes kind of a J shape, so that's why it's called the J stroke. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new. So those are some basic paddling skills and strokes that you can use when you go out canoeing.